Welcome, everybody. Good evening on, what is it, January the 26th? Let me see if I can remember without looking at my notes. I think I'll have to look at my notes. 307th edition of Speaking of Zane. That's a lot of episodes for a guy just to bloviate over and over. But appreciate you guys stopping in and joining to see what is going on in the world of Speaking of Zane. Good to have you all here. Winter weather south of here. Last Sunday when we had Speaking of Zane, there was the forecast of that weather, and they certainly got it. All the way as far south as New Orleans and all the panhandle of Florida and South Georgia. I think at my folks' house, there may have been 3 or 4 inches, even snow all the way over to Savannah. And I just saw some pictures of snow out on Tybee Island on the sandbar, which is crazy. But I know folks probably enjoyed it, but they are probably ready to get back to normal because that is quite a inconvenience to have that much snow that far south for sure. Yeah, along the Gulf of America there. But I know that people that don't travel or don't live that far south never get to see snow. I know it was fun for the kids for sure to be able to experience it anyway. Yeah, that was quite a busy Monday we had last week. So Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So most people were either out of school, off work, and then the snow on Tuesday, and inauguration on Monday, which was a power-packed day full of activities there, if you followed any of that. And then the national championship game Monday evening. I really wasn't rooting for anybody. In fact, I really didn't watch a whole lot of it. But, of course, congratulations to Ohio State. And I know all the SEC haters are glad that somebody other than an SEC team is winning the national title there. I know there's some football on right now. I'm not a big NFL guy these days, but I did see that Philadelphia beat Washington, and they're probably at halftime by now, but the Chiefs are playing who are they playing? Somebody help me in the chat. The Bills. Yeah, Buffalo Bills. Now that's a group of people that knows about snow up there in Buffalo. And I guess the Super Bowl is a couple weeks away, I think, down in New Orleans, in fact. Okay, well, let's see. We did have a little sleepover last night. Our granddaughter Carson, in fact, Lori and Carson came to the airport to pick me up. I was out of town this week. First trip of the year. I went to St. Louis, of course, which is where I mostly go. Spent a few days there and came back yesterday. And Lori and Carson came and picked me up, which was very nice of them. Yeah, she was here for 2 nights. Carson was. She's quite a handful, but it's good. It's good when she's here. She's 5. You saw her last week. Remember, she was here last Sunday night too. I think, if I remember right, Lori. But and I think she'll be back again this Saturday for a few hours during the day. I don't think she's staying the night, but they only live about what, Lori, 10 or 12 miles away. They're pretty close. Yeah. So my trip to St. Louis, first trip of the year. It was really cold up there. I think I woke up on Thursday morning or Friday morning. It was 9 degrees in St. Louis. So it was pretty cold. Well, let me do a little roll call here. I see some people joining in. My cousin Toby's in there. Hey, Tobe. My good friend Daryl's in there. More about him in a minute. Ken's in there. Jimbo Miller's in there. Lori's in there. Brenda Lusk is in there. Hey, Brenda, up in Michigan. They know about snow up there too, don't they? And Ken's giving an update there on the score. And then Steve Shirley's there. Well, that's all right, Steve. It's okay if you're tardy. Good to have you in there. Oh, Carson is staying Friday night. Okay. Well, I don't always know what's going on around here at the fabulous McDonald Estate and Insane Asylum, but Lori does. That's for sure. Thank goodness. All right. Well, my trip to St. Louis was good. You saw, if you follow me on Facebook, you saw that I had an empty middle seat both ways, which is always fun. And I always get on the 737s, I get row 20 or 21 because they're both exit rows. And they have a lot of leg room. On the 737s, rows 20 and 21 have a lot of leg room, a lot of shoulder room. So I always make out even better when there's an empty middle seat there. Hey, Patrick Reeves in there, good Army veteran there, a good friend of mine from work down in the Tampa area. Good to have you in there, buddy. Yeah, so it was a good trip to St. Louis. My primary mission on this trip was for the 3rd year in a row, I'm coaching or mentoring a high school team. It's a STEM class, science, technology. This is my 3rd year coaching this particular high school that's in the St. Louis area called Troy Buchanan. They're the Trojans, Troy Trojans. And the last 2 years, most of the kids, there was 10 kids, and they were mostly the same for the last 2 years. Well, they all graduated. So now this year, my team is only 6 people plus the teacher. Rachel's her name. There's only 6 of them, and there's 2 seniors, 2 seniors, a junior, and 3 sophomores. So a little different demographic than I've had in the past. So I had to back up a little bit and sort of coach, set them up, and coach on how to solve this problem we presented him with over the next about 4 weeks. I only have about 4 weeks to do this. Anyway, so I was there for that on Friday. That was the main reason I was there. And 20 different schools from the St. Louis area converge on our headquarters, and they spend the day on Friday doing that. And then they'll submit their final video, I think, on February 20th. And then it takes another week for the judges to score them. And then if you get in the top 5, there's 20 schools, you get in the top 5, you come back and you present on stage March the 8th. Last year my team did. My team came in 5th. They made it to the finals, and they came in 5th out of 20 teams. So that was kind of fun. But anyway, that's what I was there for. And I was able to pick up the remaining red Remember Everyone Deployed t-shirts that I ordered. I picked up the remaining suitcase full of them and brought them home so I could get them shipped out. And I find myself still needing maybe a couple hundred more. So I got to find somebody at work to help me pay for those. I found a very generous anonymous benefactor at work to buy the 250 or so that I got. So we'll see if I can do some more magic there. But I've got that. So that was my second goal, is to get all those t-shirts back here so I could package them up. About 100 of them have all been delivered across the country now. Got another 100 to go, and then I still need another 100 or 150. It's turning out to be a little bit of a project, but I have a full-time job. So let's see, I did that, and then the highlight of my trip, I got to have dinner with Daryl, who's here with us again tonight, of course. And I drove out. I had a car this time because I had to move around a couple places. Sometimes I get a car, sometimes I just Uber, but I got a car this time. I drove out to Daryl. Turns out Daryl's only like 15 or 17 miles away from our headquarters. So we were able to connect. I came close to him. We had dinner maybe 2 miles from his place. And I don't know the area, and Daryl said, well, he really didn't have a favorite place, so I picked this place that looked good. The menu looked good, but I didn't realize it wasn't a sit-down place; it was a takeout place. So, but we got there, and the food looked so good that we decided to eat there anyway. And they had some tables inside, and we ate it. We ate there, and spent a couple hours probably together, and just catching up on things and having some. I had some steak and shrimp and a metric ton of fried okra. It was fantastic. But it was good to spend some time with Daryl. Daryl looked great. He's had, ever since he had his knee replacement, he's had all these other ancillary issues come up that have taken him in and out of the hospital over the last, what has it been, Daryl? A couple months? At least a couple months, right? But he's home now. And I asked him, I said, well, how's your mobility? And he said, fine. And so he was able to come out. Anyway, we had a really good time as always, and hope to see him again maybe in a couple of weeks when I go back. I'll be back not this week, but the following for a few days. So I'll see if I can, what my schedule looks like. I've got some things I have to accomplish while I'm there, but all right. Well, let's see. Hat of the week always has something to do with what the heck is going on around here. But I'm happy. I got a haircut today, by the way. It was starting to feel kind of shaggy, and I went and got a really nice close haircut today, which I always enjoy. And it's right next to the Kroger, so I'm able to get shopping in. I bought a basket full of meat. You guys know I'm a carnivore. And I got a roast, I got some steak, I got some hamburger, I got pork loin, I got a skirt steak, I got bologna from the deli, I got 18 eggs, I got, you name it, I got it, bacon, a couple of packs of bacon and sausage, and I think I'm good for a while. I did get eggs. Not enough eggs though. I got 18. I got an 18 pack, but I promptly came home and boiled about 10 of those. So I have to do a egg run during the week. But so it was good to get out and about and get the stuff done. Lori did my laundry for me as she usually does on Sundays. I appreciate that. And here we are. So hat of the week has to do with what's going on around here. And turns out I was seeing some memories on Facebook. There's my friend Amanda. Hey, Amanda. And by the way, on this date, Amanda, listen up, Amanda and Daryl, as I was looking through some Facebook memories today, on this date, I don't know, it might have been 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, you two met for the first time at Jefferson Barracks. How about that for a flashback there? Let's see. What was I saying? The hat of the week. Hat of the week. I get sidetracked. Have you noticed? But the hat of the week always has something to do with what's going on around here. And I was looking through the Facebook memories anyway, and it turned into a This Week in Military History item. Jackson, our youngest son, Carson's daddy, graduated from basic training on this day, these 2 days, today and tomorrow, because they have family day they have family day and then you have graduation day. But he graduated from basic training January 26th and 27th of 2017. 2017. That's a long time ago. That's 8 years ago. And yes, Lori's right. He was a doggone honor graduate. Wow. But yeah, that was a good trip. It was cold there, but everything was outside. They had all the activities and everything outside both days. And but wow, that's 8 years goes by like that. And of course, 9 years ago this week, it'll be on Friday this year. January 31st is the day we lost Zane, the day Zane passed away. Coming up on Friday, so keep us in your prayers. It's always tough. Those anniversaries are tough, no matter how many years go by. But yeah, Friday, January 31st, in 2016 is when we lost Zane. So next year, January 31st. 2026 will be it'll be 10 years. It's just incredible. Incredible. I'll tell you what, and 9 years this week, and the hurt is exactly the same as it was that night. It say time heals. There's an element of that for sure, but yeah, it's crazy. But those are the two this week in military history items. So the hat of the week. Here I come. I keep saying the hat of the week, and I haven't told you why the hat of the week. I've gone down 3 rabbit holes. This hat was a hat that I bought at Lackland Air Force Base when we went to Jackson's graduation. So that's why this is the hat of the week, because of Jackson's graduation. And so how about that? It took me a little bit to get to it, didn't it? But there you go. All right. Well, let's see. Oh, I wanted to remind you guys again. So I have until February 6th to make my mind up on this. So that means we have one more. Yeah, one more. Speaking of Zane, this platform that I use that you guys see called StreamYard, right? That allows me to do the scrolling and the logo and the screen sharing. Oh, let me do some screen sharing. In fact, I'll show you. Some of you may not have seen. There we go. All right, hang on a second. Find the right. There we go. see if this has come up. So this tool allows me to do these kinds of things, right? With the music and the countdown and the background and the sharing, and I can bring guests in and all that stuff. It's a great tool. I've really enjoyed it over the years, I guess 3 or 4 years. Back to that in a second. Here's some pictures from when Jackson graduated. There's Jackson and Lori. There's Jackson as a fresh airman. There's the old man. That's when I was a little bit roly-poly there, you can see from my cheeks. And then there's Jackson, looking sharp. There was another one here. Oh, here's one. This is one with Zane and Jackson's pictures side by side, and to show that they are absolutely brothers. Check out the profile there. They look so similar there. That picture of Zane was actually the day he deployed to Iraq, because it's in that facility out at Hunter Army Airfield, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so I'll stop sharing here. But this tool, StreamYard, is what lets me do all those things, and stuff. And I really do like it. But it kind of made me mad because it costs, like, for the last 4 or 5 years I've been using it, it costs like $250 a year, which seems fair. And, it allows me to do all of this stuff. And, well, I get a notice that my renewal is coming up. And instead of $230, it's like $450 or something. And I'm like, okay, I could see a modest increase, but that's an 80% increase. And I haven't seen 80% worth of improvement or new features or functions or anything like that. So anyway, I'm going back and forth in my head about just bailing out on them and finding another platform. I've got some queries out on different tools that let you do this sort of thing. But I have a week or so to sort of make my mind up. So you may, if I just decide to suck it up and pay the increase, nothing will change. But if I stay pissed off at them and bail, you may see something slightly different. But we'll see how it goes. I'll try to give everybody some advance notice. Okay, well, let's see. I mentioned my 2 This Week in Military History items, and we do have some Veteran Cemetery Challenge updates. I know my dad made a visit, my sister made visits to my mother's grave with snow. Mom would have never believed that there would have been snow there, I'm sure. And then Daryl, I think it's true, Daryl, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Daryl made it out to Jefferson Barracks to see Wanda today. Daryl, did you go by yourself or with someone else? But I don't think you've been out by yourself in a little while, but I think Daryl made a visit there, which is great. I don't know, Lori. I'll have to look into that and see if I can go straight to YouTube. This goes straight to YouTube, to my YouTube channel. It's just this tool allows you to do all of those different things, to bring in guests and to change the layout and to add the banners and the music and all the stuff there. But well, I'll get it all figured out. So Daryl, my dad, my sis, those are the only visits I know of. I'm going to say we had 5 visits for the week, which take us. Now, when I visit St. Louis, I will frequently go to Jefferson Barracks. I didn't get a chance to this time, but I often do. But if I add up the visits we're currently sitting at, since we started doing this as a group, a relatively small group of patriots, 1,384 times, 1,384 visits to a veteran cemetery, a national cemetery, a state veteran cemetery, a cemetery that has veterans, and you guys have jumped right on board that, and it's an amazing thing for sure. Okay, well, how about the we always we started these two things right around the same period of time, the Thank a Veteran Challenge and the veteran cemetery visits. But the Thank a Veteran Challenge, if you remember, started. Lori and I flew out to Texas to visit our daughter Charlotte when she was at school at A&M, and on the way back, I bumped into a Vietnam veteran in the airport in Houston and struck up a conversation and said thanks, and then that's what gave me the idea to start doing that purposefully and then tracking it. And then I told you guys about it, and you jumped on board, and then now every week you guys are in your daily lives at work, at school, at church, or at the store or whatever. You guys are doing the same thing and telling me about it, and we're tracking those as well. So I had a few this week. Every time I go to St. Louis I usually will meet veterans in the airport, or I'll meet veterans at work, and I did several at work this year. Orville, who's a security guard at our front desk, I always go say hi to him. Another friend of mine at work, Bob, is a former Marine, and then one of the teachers from these high schools that come in. It's called Arthur. He was in the Army, and he and I met, 3 years ago now. And every time we come around to January, we see each other there in St. Louis. And then, of course, I spent some time, I mentioned, with Daryl there. And those are the only thank yous that I'm aware of. I'd have to look back. There may be some on the Speaking of Zane Facebook page, but I'm going to say we had 4, and that gives us 3,232. So 3,232 times a veteran, a military member, a first responder has had someone thank them, acknowledge them, or strike up a conversation with them. That's a win. How about that? So thanks for doing that. And I had a nice thank you. Someone gave me a thank you in the airport yesterday, and I thought that was fantastic. What a good feeling. All righty. Let's see. Nothing really imminent on the organization front. We always talk about organizations that we're all either connected to, aware of, affiliated with, support, donate to, etc. And I've tried to capture those over the years, as you guys tell me, and as we stumble on different things like My Warrior's Place, like Running to Honor, like Georgia Run for the Fallen, like Till Valhalla Project, Vet Ticks, Reach Across America, right on down the list. And one post I saw today did remind me that coming up in the May, it's always just before Memorial Day, is the there's an organization. What is the name of that group? I'm looking at my list here. Which one is that? What is that, Lori? The one where they do, Carry the Load. Carry the Load. They do like 5 different routes all through the country. Southern, East Coast, Central, Mountain, West, and they all converge eventually after about a week's time, 2 weeks time in Dallas. But that's already coming up. Or they're already got the planning underway for that. So if one of those Carry the Load, what we'll do as we get closer to that, I'll share a map of those routes. And if it comes through a city near you, it's worth going and saying hi to those folks. Lori and I have done it a few times. and they'll stop at national cemeteries along their way and honor the fallen, and just a really cool org. Also, I mentioned Running to Honor. We'll do Running to Honor again this summer, thanks to our good friend Aaron. Um, well, you can register, and you can register for that. Now, usually, I will create a team. Speaking of Zane team, I've not done it yet. I've got a note to. My dad asked me about this the other day because he wanted to join the team. But you can go to Running to Honor. You can just search Running to Honor, and you can go find out how to register. But hopefully, between now and next Sunday, I will have registered and create a Speaking of Zane team, and you can join that Speaking of Zane team if you want to. So somebody remind me. I made a note. We'll see if I remember. Yeah, I think that's right, Lori. Last Saturday in July. All right. Well, I often I get a lot of different news feeds and stuff, and whenever there's a report of any service members that we've lost or have been injured, I try to capture that, and we share the names and honor them. But I didn't see any, thank goodness. I didn't see any this week. I know, we have folks in harm's way all over the freaking place, places people don't even realize, like Jordan and Syria and Iraq. And they're certainly in harm's way. So, and they deserve to be remembered, and that's why we do the red on Friday. Remember everyone deployed. So if you wear red on Friday, take a picture of yourself and post it on the Speaking of Zane Facebook page. There's a challenge for everybody for this week. On this coming Friday, wear something red and post a picture on the Speaking of Zane Facebook group. There you go. How's that? Okay. Well, I think we are at the end of the time here. I didn't see anybody else join along the way, but I sure do appreciate everybody that does join and stop in here. Our primary goal here is to keep Zane's memory alive by speaking his name, speaking of Zane. And you can see we do other things along the way. But that is the primary thing. And to keep some level of sanity and not bottle it all in, hold it all in. It's certainly hard to. It's hard not to bottle it in, but this is an outlet for me and therapy for me. So you folks are my therapist as I try to cobble together this, whatever you call this broadcast. But hopefully you guys will continue to join us along the way. I'd love for you to contribute in the chat like you do, or sharing the thank yous that you do, or the visits that you make, or anything that you want to bring up to the group, share with the group. Tell us about organizations that you're aware of that you support, anything like that. Wide open. If anybody would ever like to come in here and give me a breather and actually talk about something, let me know. That's easy to do. I can pull you right in here as a guest, and would love to hear from you all. Anything that you're involved in, up to, want to share with the group. I need some guests to come in here so you don't have to listen to me drone and drone and drone. But good to have you all in there. I see my friend Dan Jefferson there as well, down in Florida. The snow didn't quite get down to him, but it did to a lot of. We've had snow in all 50 states now this year. All right. Well, thanks, gang. We'll let you all run. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Those of you that are watching football, get back to the football game, and then have a great week coming up. And we'll look forward to seeing you all again next Sunday night for another edition of Speaking of Zane. God bless everybody. We'll see you then.